Let's go!
Merry Christmas! You didn't think we'd be doing a show this week, but the boys from To The Weekend deliver. Welcome to the weekend, the Christmas edition, the holiday spectacular, if you will. I'm really hyping up the show this week, aren't I?
I would say, you're making it sound like the big old fat man himself is going to make an appearance, and I don't mean me.
Hey, you never know. Karski and Zenski with you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Hopefully you were enjoying the day as best you can in this odd year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas to you, too. I'd like to put the wagers to bed right now. Back on December the 2nd, on our social media, the question was posed, over under December 20th, when Nick Karski's Christmas shopping would be completed. You could take the over, or you could obviously take the under. December 20th, that was the cut line. To those of you who took the over, congratulations. Well done on your end. A huge congratulations to you. Yes, give them the ta-da. Let's go. Because, man, I did not get my Christmas shopping officially done until December 23rd.
Oh, man. Dude, you reminded me of, like, in my early 20s when I always left it to the 23rd. Now I'm like, well, this year I was a little late, but usually I'm pretty good with it now.
How good are you with it, though? Like, are you talking about months beforehand? Because there are some people who are lunatics out there who do this stuff months in advance.
Oh, yeah. No, I was bad before, Jenna and I got married, and then her and I kind of keep a more expedited timeline because we have, two families to buy for now, and, there's a lot of different kind of variables at play. So, yeah, I think, really the only thing that's I would be late with is random stocking stuffers and things like that.
Yeah.
But I would say this year, for the most part, we were on schedule, but I'm just waiting on, as of recording this, still waiting on one more thing for hers to come in because the postal system is slammed right now, but what are you going to do?
I know. Nobody has gotten any of our Christmas cards that went out about a week ago. So I
was going to say, yeah, what the heck?
That's very exciting. That's some great news. A little embarrassing, but I guess, hey, I feel bad for a lot of these people who are a part of the USPS and UPS and FedEx and all that stuff. Like, they're absolutely slammed. And it's on record right now that this is one of the craziest years that they've ever experienced because of obviously what's going on. So, if you're still waiting for that present that didn't come, or if you're ticked off that one great gift for that special someone didn't show up, just I don't want to say let it go, but just know that they're trying. They really are. I have a lot of sympathy for them.
And take it with a grain of salt, because there are people out there who would love to give their loved ones a gift this year, and maybe they can't for some reason. So not to be a downer on the show, but I think if there's anything to have during this holiday season, it's a little bit of perspectives. As much as we may be bummed that we can't do this and can't do that, need to keep it all in a certain point of view.
Let's take a look at what's happened over the last week.
Here's what you missed.
Well, to start off, talking about Christmas presents, you still don't have one, or birthday presents. You don't still have one for me, so I apologize for that.
Thank you.
But when I get your Christmas card, you'll get your birthday present.
Oh, okay.
Also, following up from last week, we talked about how there was a COVID vaccine approved. There's now 2 COVID vaccines approved. Moderna got the green light from the FDA, and as of recording this, on December 23rd, there are 1.2 million doses already having been distributed in the United States, I guess in the last week and a half, with just 350,000 of them being within the last 24 hours. So some really encouraging progress, I think, on that front.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I am a naturally born pessimist by nature. It's just how I am. I would like to think that this is the start of the beginning of the end. I would like to think that this means the end is near and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just knocking on wood, keeping my fingers crossed that, with the holidays here and everything like that, cases don't go crazy and, we actually see this thing kind of die down like we're hopefully anticipating here over the next couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, we could only hope, and if nothing else was going to do it, I mean, during the better part of this last year, the one thing that the health experts have been saying is, we need to do this until there's a vaccine, and now there is. And so, but that doesn't mean we completely forget everything we've learned about wearing a mask and social distancing and all that. It's, you still need to do what you need to do, let the vaccine distributions and inoculations happen, and then in due time, those of us who are in like this general public category will, be able to make our appointments to get vaccinated, and it'll be a good day.
Do we still have an unknown reason why Sir Ian McKellen was one of the first people to get the vaccination?
No, I don't think we do. Do you?
No, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean, good for him. God bless him, all that stuff, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why he was one of the first people in the UK when all of this stuff first started. He's just proudly sitting in a chair and getting a photo to post on his social media. I'm like, all right, buddy.
So we talked about that last week. Here's one thing that rubbed me the wrong way, though. So obviously because the vaccine distributions are being left up to the states. Like this whole pandemic has been states, you figure it out, right? And so when it comes to the distribution, a lot of them, rightfully so, are giving it to frontline healthcare workers, right? Like those should be people first in line to get it. Why are there politicians getting it?
Because I think they believe the image of that happening will put some security behind people.
I get that, and I guess I should specify. I obviously see the validity behind President-elect Biden getting it. He's older, so he's technically at risk if, God forbid, he were to get it. So I all for him getting it. I saw Vice President Pence got it.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is, why are the people who have downplayed the pandemic, and I'm not going to get political here, why are they the ones skirting the front of the line?
I don't know. I'm getting scared because you're starting to get a little political, and it's the holiday season. That's
I know.
Rule number one: don't talk about politics at the dinner table on Christmas.
I got a little heated, but I feel like that needs to be said. If you downplayed the pandemic, back of the line, buddy. There are many deserving people in front of you who need that shot more. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
Okay.
In lighter news, there was a generous customer at a Florida restaurant left a $2,020 tip to a bill of $29. It said South Shore Pizza in Ruskin, Florida, said in a Facebook post that a customer left a $20 tip and requested that the money be split among all the shop's employees. Manager Robert Godfrey said each employee received about $80 from the big tip. The customer said the tip was part of the 2020 #2020 Tip Challenge, an online initiative that started earlier this year earlier in the year to encourage people to be generous toward those in the service industry. I think this is great.
I think it's great. I mean this nicely. It's something that I could not do. It's something
neither could I.
That I could afford to do, but you hear of these stories a lot, and sometimes it involves those celebrity encounters. Like somebody who comes to mind for me is Chad Ochocinco, former NFL wide receiver great. I mean, this guy, it seems like once a week is posting on his social media that he's leaving a massive tip for somebody, and he's telling the person on the receipt, "I love you, pass it along."
Right.
I mean, I get that it's different scenarios and different cases in that way, but no, I think it's something great. I think I would like to see, it'd be nice to see people who can do stuff like that more often, because let's face it, the food and dining industry, especially as we are going into the winter months right now, they are going to struggle, and they are going to have a tough time trying to make ends meet, and those people
Yeah.
are going to have a tough time trying to make ends meet. So let's try to support them the best that we can during all of this chaos.
Yeah, and I completely agree, because obviously, like, I have friends and colleagues in a way who work at like the clubs and the bars that I DJ at that have been shuttered for the most part for the last 10 months. So,
Right.
The company who I work with has done a great job of starting a nonprofit called the Be Strong Fund that has given hundreds of thousands of dollars already to those employees who they've needed to furlough. And one cool thing they're now doing on New Year's Eve specifically, since all these DJs and hospitality people typically would be working New Year's Eve, they're not this year. Instead, there's a like a national walkathon or like a 5K happening on New Year's Eve. So if you want to raise awareness for those who you appreciate in the hospitality industry, we'll leave more information in the show notes. Up next, thousands of pounds. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah,
I don't think you're ready for this one.
It took
Okay.
you about 3 seconds before you even started. So yes, I'm actually waiting for
Okay,
this one.
all right. I'm not good with my tab management lately on my computer, but thousands of pounds of cheese balls spilled onto a Maryland highway. Just take a second and visualize that.
Holy cheese.
Transportation officials in Maryland said a tractor-trailer hauling 20,000 pounds of cheese balls overturned on the interstate, spilling snacks across the lanes of traffic. The Maryland DOT State Highway Administration said the tractor-trailer was involved in a crash at 2:23 p.m. on I-495 in Montgomery County and spilled cheese ball snacks onto the roadway. The crash also resulted in a fuel spill in the sand truck, and a sand truck was called to the scene to assist with cleanup efforts. Thankfully, no injuries were reported from the incident. 2 lanes of traffic were closed temporarily.
Sounds like they were having a ball.
Of cheese.
That's what you.
That's
come
bad.
on, man.
That's bad. That's real bad. I'm sorry if you had to listen to that.
Who? Me or you?
The listeners and the viewers.
Who was bad though?
You started it, then no.
Come on.
Because I saw the face you made. You were like, "Oh, this is gonna."
It was a good comment. It was a great bit, and then you just had to nail in the cheese. Like, come on, you ruined it.
I didn't ruin it. You ruined
the
it.
bit. You ruined the bit.
On.
Oh.
Okay. Well, here's something that wasn't ruined. Okay. The Bills football season.
Hey!
Want to talk about that for a second?
Well, where do we start?
I don't know.
Where do we start?
And I have to say, because I texted you, and you might have just been like in an emotional state of like disbelief when I texted you this, but I asked you after the game if you had something to say, and you never replied. So do you want to say it now?
You're right. I didn't have anything to say. I mean this nicely. You were one of many people to blow up my phone. It wasn't nearly as much of a phone blow up as when the Bills magically clinched a spot in the playoffs for the first time in almost 2 decades, like they did a few years ago when Andy Dalton threw this picture-perfect pass to beat the Ravens on New Year's Eve a few years ago. That was insane how the Bills found their way into the playoffs. But this was really, really special. And I'll be honest, I cried. I cried like a baby, and people might be like, "Oh, wow, you're crying over sports." And no, I mean, yes, I was, but I have reason. And, I brought it up in a tweet. I lost a really important family member. It was 9 years to the day that the Bills clinched that AFC East Division title for the first time in 25 years. Mm-hmm. And growing up as a kid, I would always go to my uncle's house. That's who passed away almost a decade ago. I would go to his house every single Sunday to watch Bills games. And that's all I remember were dozens and dozens and dozens of people. Like, it felt like almost 100 people on a weekly basis at his house to watch the Bills game and to party and to hang out and all be around each other. And that was when the Bills were in their prime and going to many Super Bowls and winning many football games and everything like that. So for me, it was a true, like, euphoric sort of moment, but also a moment that I thought to myself, like, man, and I tweeted it out. I said, I wish I could share this with, some people who aren't here right now. And that's what's, was so important to me. So yes, Sometimes people cry over sports, but sometimes you got to realize it's not just because they're getting the W's and doing some special things. It's sometimes because of sentimental reasons behind the victories. And I think that's what makes sports special for a lot of people.
I agree. I think, I'll admit, I love watching, especially like in the MLB offseason right now. MLB Network is going through and playing Field of Dreams and playing Moneyball and like A League of Their Own, like all these really
movies,
good baseball movies, right? And like Field of Dreams specifically, like I just remember being on road trips as a kid, like watching that in the backseat of the car. Like that was always the VHS tape that we had in the TV player, right? Like I love that movie. So whenever I see that, like it takes me back to my childhood. So you're not wrong. Like sports, a big part of sports is the sentimentality of it. It's walking up the ramp of the stadium to see the big diamond for the first time as a kid,
grass
right?
And everything like that.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Having your first hot dog.
I will say though, instead of getting a little sappy here, if you will indulge me for the next 90 seconds, I'm so glad that so many people originally thought the Bills were going to have a tough time in the AFC East. I'm so glad that people out there thought the Bills would be an 8-8 team. I'm so glad that people doubted the quarterback that the Buffalo Bills have. I'm so glad that people doubted Buffalo to begin with, because they have proven everybody wrong. And you know what? This team, right now as it stands, is a legitimate contender in the AFC, and they're still not getting enough love. Now all of a sudden, some people are coming out of the woodwork. Some people are saying, oh, the Bills are the one team that might be able to beat the Chiefs. But then you have those naysayers who are out there who are basically saying, yeah, there's no possible way. You know what? The Bills and the Chiefs, they met up with each other early on in the season. That was like 8-9 weeks ago. A lot has changed, okay? Buffalo has been on this tear offensively, defensively. The special teams have been great. Everything has been picture perfect for the Bills, besides a Hail Mary that went the other team's way. That's the only thing that has not gone the Bills' way over the last 8 or 9 weeks. Mm-hmm. Since then, this team has been, in some ways, underappreciated, and I'm okay with it. You know why? Because the more that they're underappreciated, the sweeter it's going to be when they shock everybody and start getting some wins late here into the new year. I'm just saying.
You also never said what I prompted you to say.
What did you prompt me to say?
What do you always say about the Buffalo Bills?
God bless the Buffalo Bills.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And listen, I completely get where you're coming from, because I'm going to be the same way when the Mets are in the World Series again, which could very realistically be in the next 3 to 5 years that we've talked about in past weeks.
Here's the thing. As a Bills fan, I should feel just so pessimistic, and I'm like, oh, they're actually going to probably lose the first game in the playoffs, and that's that, and yada, yada, yada. I'm feeling really good about this club. And, winning the AFC East was huge. Don't get me wrong. It was so big that I ended up buying some AFC East championship merchandise, okay?
You did?
I did, because it's the first time since 1995 that I was able to get some. So I'm going to do it. But the other reason is I feel confident in this group, man. Just let them do their thing, and they are hungry for more. The AFC East is one thing, but to win a playoff game is another thing. To win the AFC is another thing. To reach the Super Bowl is another thing. There's something special brewing with this group, man, and you better watch out.
You heard it here first.
You better watch out.
So we'll be checking back on this week to week, and I think this is a good time to bring back some live reactions to your Buffalo Bills viewing parties, because we got so much good feedback on those.
Frightening. Maybe I will consider it. I will maybe consider it.
If you want to hear that, let us know in the comments. Drop us a note on Instagram if you want to hear it.
It is the holiday season, and it got me thinking, there are a few important women in our lives, and not to take away anything from your lovely wife or my lovely fiance, but there is always a special woman in our lives who has been there from the very beginning. Okay, that of course is our mothers. Mom knows best when it comes to everything. When it comes to the holidays, when it comes to shopping, when it comes to just everyday life in general. And I thought it would be a good idea today, since it is the holiday season, 'tis the season for giving, but 'tis the season for sharing. And ideally this means 'tis the season for sharing some fun stories.
Oh boy.
Good, bad, downright ugly, embarrassing, whatever it may be. I feel like it is our duty to call our mothers and find out just how we were during the holidays, what maybe a memorable moment was, or maybe something that was truly embarrassing. I don't know. I'm almost a little scared of what's going to come out of their mouths. If you agree,
You don't
to this,
know.
are
Yeah.
you down with this?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Do you want to? Should we call my mom first or your mom first?
You pick.
No, you pick. You're.
No, you pick.
All right. Well, just because I have her on speed dial, I'm going to call my mom first, Kathy.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to call her, and like I said, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what kind of story she has.
Hello?
Hello, Mom. It's your son.
Hi, son.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. You sound very happy. You are live on the air with Nick and Zenski for To the Weekend, and this is our Christmas spectacular that Zenski build up so much for everybody that you would think that Santa Claus was going to appear on the podcast himself or something like that. But we're going with the next best thing, and that is our mothers. So we want to like just dive a little bit deeper into having Christmas with yours truly, or in Zenski's case, when it comes to his mom. We'll talk to her in a few minutes, but I do need to know, what was Christmas like with me? Was I a good kid? Was I a bad kid? Was I a hellraiser? Like how would you describe me during the holiday season?
Well, can I say all of the above?
Yeah, if you want to, if that's how you truly feel.
I would say all of the above, but well, for the most part, you were a very well-behaved child, even outside of Christmas, although at Christmas time, as most children, you were a little better behaved in hopes that Santa would be,
Are you just saying that, or are you
special.
serious?
No, I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah, you know. No, you were a good kid, but Christmas time, you were extra special. I mean, there were times that you actually, probably when you were about 3 years old, picked up the phone and called Santa just to let him know how good you were, and don't listen to whatever your parents may have told him.
Really? This happened. I don't remember this at all.
Smart kid.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did call Santa. You obviously had a direct line to him, but unbeknownst to us. But
now, wait a second. Did I dial like the number or something like that, or was this something that like if there's kids listening, just turn them away really quick. Was this something that you guys set up or something, or what?
No, you just pick up the phone and say you were calling Santa, but you also did that a couple times, saying you were calling God too. So I mean, you had some a lot of higher powers than your father and I could deal with. So
I feel like this is a thing though. Like there must be, even when we were growing up, there must have been a hotline you call, and like there was just people at the other end, and like they just pretend like you're calling the North Pole. And, like, yeah, I'll pass the message to Kris Kringle, like,
Yeah.
Like that must have been a thing.
Was that a thing? Did I ever do that?
I mean, what's that?
I said, was that a thing? Did I ever do that? Did we ever do that?
Do what?
Like call the hotline, like call a hotline or something like that. Like
yeah. They did have those. Yeah, we called those every now and then. But like I said, when you were about 3, you apparently had a direct hotline to all the big guys, and you just I remember you standing by the picture window in the living room on the phone.
Okay.
I really don't know who you were talking to, but we let you do it because we weren't going to interfere. We didn't want to get involved. So.
Do you remember was when I was a kid growing up? Obviously, not any of my recent times. Was there ever a time where I was like begging for a certain present, because I really don't remember, but like begging, and you finally like either caved in and got the gift, or maybe you were just like, all right, I can't find it because there's no such thing, or there's no possible way of getting this like really hot gift. Was there ever any of that?
I don't really think so. I mean, there were things that you really wanted, and we really didn't have too many problems finding things. I know we did for your. I always said I wouldn't be one of those parents that stood in line for hours to get something, but like for your sister when she was, probably about 3 years old, there was the Teddy Ruxpin craze.
Yeah.
I stood in line for hours to get that, but other than that, I don't think so. I know there was something that you really wanted. Was when Toy Story was first out and very popular, and. We got it for you, but I probably, shouldn't really share the rest of that. So.
You shouldn't share the rest of that?
What?
Am I? Oh, I know.
Well, I mean,
I think I know where this is going.
Realistically, I think if you think about it, you know what I'm going to say.
No, say it. Just say it. This is a podcast. You can get away with saying this. Come on.
Oh, boy.
You really want me to say?
Yeah.
Even like an old lady can say something like this.
Yeah. You could say something like this.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so you really were into the Toy Story, and like all the kids were back then, and your favorite character was Woody.
Yeah.
And so you opened up your present, and obviously we found one. You opened it up, and you proceeded to exclaim, "I've always wanted a Woody."
Sounds about right.
And that was a little too much information for me at the time, but I went with it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I don't know what I would do as a parent in that situation. You just got to let that one slide.
Well, yeah, I mean, we held in the laughter, and I'm sure we did laugh, but in Nick's mind, he was just innocently wanting that particular doll. That was the big thing, the Woody and who's the other guy
Buzz
there
Lightyear.
that flies around?
Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great franchise. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was some sort of child, wasn't I?
Yeah, and then there was the year that you're probably about 3 years old when we got you and your sister the Jeep.
Yeah.
And, we thought that would be we thought that'd be a fun idea, but forgot that initially it's going to be in the house. And
what did we break?
between
Anything?
the tree. Well, I mean, you hit the tree, you hit the furniture, you hit the wall. Now, fortunately, we have a couple of nice long hallways, so it was demolition derby.
God, I remember those. I always wanted one of those.
You never had one of those?
I might have. I must have at some point, but I forget if it was like the powered one or the one you had to like.
Oh, the one
like Flintstone style.
No, you would sit in the Jeep and you would push the pedal and drive, and it was battery operated.
I know my cousins definitely had one. I can't remember if I had one, but that's a cool toy.
Well, Kath, I really appreciate you embarrassing me just ever so slightly, but I can take it like a champ because that's how I am. I have no shame in any of this stuff, and really appreciate everything that you and Dad have done for Jen and I, and really do appreciate it, like I said, and thankful for you guys this holiday season, that's for sure, and just want to say love you and Merry Christmas, okay?
Well, we love you too, and you have a Merry Christmas, and we'll be seeing you the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
What
other embarrassing stories do you have? Come on, Kath, just lay them on me. I'm just kidding. Don't give us any more.
I'm sure I could give you more, but, I'll just stop right here. It is the holidays, so.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, Kath.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Karski.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
The Woody
How about
story.
that?
The Woody story, man.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, God almighty.
You know where that one was going instantly.
I know, because I didn't think of it, like, and I don't remember this as a kid, but I remember her telling this story to somebody one time, and it just kind of came back to me, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. Should we call your family?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Are we gonna get like an embarrassing story here?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember, like, what's a big standout gift as a kid.
All right, you got to make sure to say hello to your mother.
Of course.
Hello.
Mom, you're on To the Weekend, live on the air with Karski and Zenski, so don't curse.
You give people the wrong idea.
No, of course not. We tell that to everybody on the show. Unfortunately, we've had people who haven't listened before.
This is a podcast. She can curse if she wants to.
Guess
I
so.
do sometimes, once in a while.
But here's the thing. Listen, so we just got off the phone with Nick's mom, Kathy, who told us some Christmas stories, and we just wanted to know from my end as well. One, how was I around Christmas as a kid? Was I behaved? Was I reckless? And then
you were always well behaved. Always well behaved.
I could see that.
You could see that, really?
Yeah, I could see you being a very well-behaved young man, just like a very much a gentleman, and making sure that you're doing all the right things, doing your chores, being nice to your sisters and everything, because
Oh, no, it wasn't a goody-goody. He knows right from wrong, and he knows he was good.
All right, I'll
take it. He was always good since the day he was born.
I'll take it. So I was a good kid, especially around Christmas. How about, and here's, because we were just talking to Nick's mom, and we were talking about how he used to call, like, the North Pole hotlines to tell Santa his gifts, right? Because he wasn't sure that, the letters that he was sending was getting there. You and Dad always pulled that 1-800-NO-SANTA.
Yes, it was 1-800. We made that up. There's 1-800-NO-SANTA, and that was good for quite a few years.
You never heard that before?
Okay.
Wait, what is this?
So it's like whenever, I just remember distinctly, like whenever my sisters or I were acting up around the holidays, my mom and dad would always say 1-800-NO-SANTA, because like it's apparently this magical hotline you could call that goes directly to Santa Claus, and he skips your house.
Wow, that's a brilliant
right?
idea.
Right?
That's a really great idea.
Pocket that one for when you have kids.
I was going to say, I know what I'm putting in my back pocket for sometime down the road here. Holy cow.
So here's something I couldn't remember though. Like, what was like a standout present that I got? Because I just remember like there was a lot of like I got a PlayStation 2 one year, and I got like other things. But like, what was you think the Christmas gift that I got most excited about growing up?
Well, the iconic things usually were your birthday, because your birthday was in June, so it was never a bike or sports or anything like that, because that was always birthday. So Christmas was mostly toys, and mostly toys. It was books. You liked a lot of books. You asked for a lot of VHS videos and all that kind of stuff. And then it was anything Legos, Micro Machines.
Oh yeah.
If you remember those, spaceships. The latest Hess truck was always on the list. You had a very defined, it was categories, things like that. Anything to do with space shuttles, things like that. You were very excited about your Megazord, but you didn't get that from us. You got that from your aunt and uncle and cousins.
What is that? A Transformer? What is that?
No, it wasn't a. No, I don't know what it was.
Megazord was Power Rangers,
it's very
wasn't
valuable.
it?
It's very valuable nowadays. It kind of, you took off his arms and his legs, and he kind of formed into something else, I think.
Oh.
But he's still in the attic, so. But it was Megazord. You really wanted that.
Okay.
And sometimes some of the things you got excited about were not from us, which was perfectly fine. It didn't matter. It was something that a family member said, we want to get that for him. But it was Megazord. And I think
it was mostly, if it was everything on your list, you were excited about it. You got a Magic kit one year. It was when you were third Christmas was your play school garage with the automatic garage door opener that went up and down. And those kind of gifts were just really becoming, common for young kids. Anything with a remote and lit up and things like that. So you love that. For your third Christmas also, you got a Black & Decker, play coffee maker. That's what you wanted. You wanted to make coffee like Dad. So you were, that thing.
Well, and who knew I would start off by hating coffee. Now I drink coffee religiously, so it must have been a sign.
Yeah, but anything to build with. You had Mega Blocks and any of that stuff that you would make things with and design, and you were happy.
Right. Oh man. Yeah.
Cars and trucks and things that go.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I can't believe I forgot about the Hess trucks, but I just remember every year that was always something I could expect to be wrapped.
That was a thing back then. Man.
Yeah. Right.
Whew.
Yeah.
And then when you got older, it was asking for gift cards and to Pat Sun, and you wanted drumsticks and you wanted cymbals.
Drumsticks, yes, those
like
were
that.
yeah. That was like every Christmas for like a good probably 5 years. Like was drumsticks and like drum heads and cymbals and like all that good stuff. And talk about another thing that's still in the attic.
School.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's it's really crazy because I admittedly forgot about a lot of this stuff from like 25 years ago, but
and the DVDs would be whatever that movie you happened to see that year. Like you wanted Forrest Gump one year, and you wanted Castaway, and you wanted the new Mission Impossible. Right. Whatever you saw with Dad or 007, or a lot of those PS games, you were very specific about.
Yeah, I remember that there was a few years when like the DVD and also the PS2 games were coming in like the same size compartments, because you would know it was wrapped like that. Like you're okay, this is either a DVD or a video game. And so it was the luck of the draw.
It was the best of both worlds back then.
Exactly. Well, Mom, thanks for being on the show and giving us some insight to apparently my very well-behaved childhood.
I'm really disappointed here. I was hoping to hear something like at least one embarrassing story.
He was good.
He's a good kid. Look at you, Zenski.
How about that? Well,
I know,
Mom,
so
obviously, we wish we could be spending the holidays with you guys this year, but things going on. But we'll definitely talk to you on Christmas. But thanks for everything you do, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, Andrew. Bye,
Love
Nick.
you. Thanks.
See ya.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was awesome. She rattled off every single gift.
That's that's crazy. That's crazy memory.
I was just gonna say that. Man, I don't even remember what I did 3 weeks ago, and yet she's just like, oh yeah, we got you an old coffee maker that was like a toy, and we got you this, and we got. I'm like, what?
It must be a thing. I don't know. Because obviously our memories aren't that developed when we're 5 years old.
Zenski, no. But the thing is I can't remember what I did yesterday. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's another problem we need to talk about.
And yeah, and she can just rattle off all the gifts that you ended up getting. But here's the thing. I feel like maybe when it's a little bit different when you have your own children, and I'm sure there are some other parents who are out there, whether they're
for sure
our parents' age or maybe our age or whatever, who can attest to this. They have those memories of their child and what they got them and their first this and their first that, and just remembering every little tiny detail. So it's something that we haven't experienced, and but I'm sure it's something that they have and something that resonates with them, so it lasts with them for a lifetime.
Totally. Yeah, I completely agree. Thinking about, now as people in their 30s, our gift wants have changed drastically from Legos and Toy Story characters. What would be on your Christmas list, or what was on your Christmas list this year?
This year?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to dive back into, the goods, if you know what I mean. got a little bit of a problem sometimes that arises in my life, and sometimes, I find myself just diving deeper and deeper and deeper into the depths of addiction.
Did you get any? So you think you're going to get baseball cards?
I know I'm gonna get some.
You're going to get baseball cards.
But for example, just these guys.
Oh God.
These aren't the ones that I got, but they're just
okay,
hanging around here. Okay.
So who do we got here? I can't tell.
Oh, these are just random cards that I've had.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Schwarber, Anthony Rizzo, Whit Merrifield. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, these are just kind of cards that are lying around. But that's my addiction, Zenski. And if you give me just a couple packs of those, I'm
You're a
gonna
happy
be
camper.
A-okay. Because I like obviously there's other stuff that I want as an adult and need as an adult and would like as an adult. But
Of course.
there's that ever so slight, childhood that still lives in me where it's like, you know what? Opening up a pack of baseball cards is just fun.
Yeah.
So what about you?
What was on my list this year? I think, this sounds awful, but just like cash is always good.
Oh, come on.
Like,
It's got to be something fun. You got to have at least one fun thing on there.
Yeah. So I think, this would have gotten on my list like well after like the original list would have needed to go to people, but I really want a drone.
Yeah.
Right.
Me too, actually.
Right.
That's a really good idea.
Because Jenna and I on the side, like we do our travel vlogging, right? And so
whoa. On the side, this is a welcoming podcast. Okay, you're more than welcome to pub your podcast here.
Well,
pub it on our podcast. I mean,
I haven't been trying to go that route, but all the stuff that we've been talking about over the Disney trips and everything, it's a little thing, much such as this that was started out of the depths of quarantine months ago. So my wife and I started a travel vlog called A Couple Travelers. YouTube.com/A Couple Travelers. That's where you'll find all of our shenanigans from our recent Disney trip. And we were thinking just about how we want to, increase our content quality going forward. And one of those things with the drone, you see a lot of these vloggers and travel enthusiasts who travel the world and like they're on the beaches of the Caribbean and they get these cool aerial shots that you can only get with a drone. And, they make some pretty cool, user-friendly consumer drones for, it's not cheap. It's like $600, but like
right.
it'll be cool. That like I would love that.
do you think you're getting that from
No.
Santa this year?
No, because Jen and I just talked about this like 3 days ago.
So she didn't run right out and grab one for you?
Because I don't know what it was this year. Because like we were asking like, what do you want for Christmas? And it's like, I don't know, like maybe like a gift card to Express or like again cash or like with the travel stuff like camera batteries, like all that's good stuff, right? Like your SD cards, but. Yeah, just within the last few days, it's like, oh yeah, a drone would have been cool. But like, you also don't want to ask for something at $600 because like that's a lot to shell out.
How is Jenna when it comes to Christmas gifts?
How so?
Is she very like sneaky? And does she like try to like peep around to see what you get her and stuff like that?
She doesn't. No, she's a great gift giver. She really is. Like I'm consistently surprised. When she gives me gifts.
She's a great gift giver, but how does she react? Like, does she try to find out what you got her? Does she snoop around?
Of course she does. She's like she'll know like when I come back or like where like when an Amazon package gets delivered, it's like, oh, what is that? Is that for me? It's like, no, don't open it. Like gotta wait. We all kind of try to snoop around, but it's not like in a very deceiving way. It's in a playful way.
It's sometimes playful.
How's Courtney?
I mean, she was trying to box me out like she was battling for a rebound on like the left block or something like that, playing like power forward or something because I was carrying a couple of bags and she wanted to see what was in them and I wouldn't let her.
You just included like 4 sports analogies in one description.
No, it was a basketball description. She literally was trying to box me out. Like she wouldn't let me pass to the studio here where I kept most of her gifts. And eventually I just kind of caved in and I was like, here, fine, take a look, see what it is real quick. And that was that. So.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, people want to keep the secret. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I want to keep the secret, but I can't, unfortunately.
Right.
Womp womp.
So All right, so I got one more thing here as we round out our Christmas spectacular. Hopefully, it lived up to the expectations of a Christmas spectacular.
Well, I mean, if it has our mothers on the show, of course it does. This is probably the best, if not the best show that we've done. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would say it's definitely up there. So here's what I want to do. Remember Mad Libs?
Yeah.
You hate Mad Libs.
I was never a big fan of them for some reason.
But let's see how a funny Mad Lib could turn out. Okay?
Okay.
A Christmas themed one.
I was gonna say I hope it's holiday themed because 'tis the season for holiday Mad Libs.
Right. I mean, so here we go. I have a Mad Lib. It's just simply titled Christmas Season. So I'm going to go down the list of blank spaces you need to fill, and you tell me the first thing comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
So first one, thing.
Fruitcake.
First thing, fruitcake, okay. First thing comes to mind. You don't need to think about it. Verb.
No, I wanted to think about it. A verb?
Verb.
Walking.
Person.
Jolly old Saint Nick.
I'll just put Santa Claus.
That's
his
jolly
name. I'll write Jolly Old Saint Nick. How about that?
Wow.
Okay. Another thing.
Let's say a bow.
A bow. Okay. Adverb.
The hell's an adverb? I forget.
I thought the same thing. Hold on. An adverb. A word or phrase that modifies or qualifies an adjective, verb, or... Wait, hold on.
This doesn't
Early,
help me.
early, first, later, last.
Early.
Okay,
We're going to go with early.
Got it. Okay, we're going with early.
God, I don't remember like second grade English.
Thing.
Another thing.
First thing that comes to mind.
Snowman.
Snowman. Person.
Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus. A way to say goodbye.
like anyway?
A way to say goodbye, yes.
A slap on the rear end.
Slap on the rear end. Person, place, or thing, but plural.
I'm trying to think of a good one here. Like, I'm trying to think of holiday-based stuff. Person,
Okay.
place, or thing. How about elves?
Elves. And an adjective.
Feisty.
Feisty. Okay. You ready for your Mad Lib?
Yes, ready for it.
Okay. Dear manager of Fruitcake Wagon, I noticed that you had a Christmas snowman for sale 2 months before Thanksgiving. I'm writing to tell you that this makes me upset. I love Christmas as much as Mrs. Claus loves elves, but I have to draw the line somewhere. All this commercialism of Christmas makes me want to walking early. Please take down that display and replace it with a feisty bow like you used to have. Slap on your rear end, jolly old Saint Nick.
That's good.
That is not bad.
Not bad. See, a part
What
of
if
me...
people actually signed like salutations with slapping your rear end
Hey,
instead of like
should we start a new
thanks,
trend?
best wishes,
regards.
all the best. Yeah,
we go
right.
from regards to rear ends.
How do you sign business emails?
Just thanks, best, regards.
Thanks, comma,
I
Nick.
don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Thanks, comma, Andrew.
Great way to end the Christmas spectacular. How do
you sign business emails? Well, to that end, we hope you have all the best, and thank you for listening this year, because the next show you're going to be hearing from us is in 2021. Thank goodness. So you're not going to want to miss that one, because we're going to be going through the good, the bad, and the ugly of 2021, so you don't want to miss that. But until then, have a healthy, safe Christmas. Wear a mask. Do your part.
And make sure you rate, subscribe, and review.
I thought that's what you were going to say. And most importantly, well, not most importantly, but you know what I'm going to say. You stay classy, my friend.
You stay classy, my friend. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Peace.